Sometimes the most effective tactic you can use is calling attention to yourself. The Mantis X firearms training system attaches to any gun with a rail and to your phone via Bluetooth to track barrel movement every shot you take. Use it to help you be the most accurate, fastest shot you possibly can in a defensive encounter. I use it in my training all the time. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Houston, Texas. Here we're going to see an attempted mugging that doesn't do any good for the mugger. And we're going to learn important lessons here about the danger of transitional spaces like parking lots, about the importance of awareness, but even with awareness, how the bad guy gets to set the timing of the encounter. And number 3, how using your tools available, including your voice and your feet, can keep you out of the danger zone and get you out of trouble. Here we see our perp here. He's got his head covered with a sweater and he's just looking. You see he's got his hand in his pocket there and he's just looking for somebody to victimize in this parking lot. And you're gonna see him kind of look to his left, decide, nah, I don't want that guy. Now the guy that's up at the top of our screen there, that's the guy he wants. And as he looks around, yep, nobody else is around. So he is going to go and accost this guy, pull a knife is what the news story says, and say, hey man, give me your wallet and whatever. But the guy yells really loud, pushes him away and starts to run off. And because there's a lot of other people around, our perp decides he doesn't want to chase him down. And so he's just going to kind of look around, took the jacket off of his head, and now he's going to jog off, and he didn't get anything from our victim, and he just runs off, and last I saw, the police are still looking for this guy. Let's go back and think about some significant lessons out of this one. Let's think about awareness in these transitional spaces. A guy that's walking with this, jacket over his head like this is somebody that you'd want to pay attention to because it's out of place. Awareness doesn't mean you know all the ninjery that's going on around you, but you look for things that are out of place, and somebody walking with the jacket completely over their head is a little out of place, and so you would definitely want to pay attention to what's going on. Next, let's think about these transitional spaces, right? A parking lot is always a transitional space. We expect people coming and going, but we don't expect somebody who is walking through a parking lot who doesn't have any business being there, doesn't have a car there. So again, something to pay attention to. And you notice the guy also had his hand in his pocket. Somebody walking on a long distance with their hand in their pocket is something to pay attention to. Now, our victim has some significant distance here. He's probably got 35 or 40 feet of distance to see. This guy's got something over his head. He's got his hand in his pocket. He's coming right at me. To really think about what kind of defense he's going to actually look at here. Now that was a furtive gesture. You see the guy looking around to see if there are other people around. That's definitely a warning sign. So this is where awareness could have given this intended victim a significant amount of space in order to keep away from this guy. But he didn't do that, and now when the guy comes after him and starts to accost him, when he finally actually has to defend himself, he's at 5 or 6 feet here, not the 40 feet that he would have had he been aware of his surroundings in a significant way. Which is why I tell you to be aware so much. Now, the guy pulls a knife and he demands something, and our victim decides to raise his voice and push off and get some distance. Against a short-range tool like a knife, that might work for you. Now, this guy didn't have a whole lot of wheels on him, but it did work in this instance. So if you can get distance and get away in a hurry, you can get away from something like this. And thankfully, the guy didn't have real evil intent on him and didn't want to hurt him or didn't feel like his ego was challenged. So let's pay attention to our awareness, particularly in transitional spaces, learn to create distance and use our distance effectively against somebody with a short range tool and get out of the danger zone so that we can cover our asp.